But yeah, this is turning out to be a pretty good game. Opponent's thinking about it. They do have to discard. This is not a May ability. It just says at the beginning of your upkeep, discard a card. So opponent's thinking about it. 2, 4, 5 cards in hand. Game is still working. And he just drops off a forest. I think with our UFO, we can go ahead and drop down this island again. So then we'll have 7 mana, because then we can play Ugin. Garruk's Uprising. Power 4 or greater, gain Trample. So let's see, take 9 damage this turn. That is quite a bit. He goes with another Garruk's Uprising. That's fine. All right, and I guess we'll let the opponent go to attack steps. Opponent gets to Surveil. Pop these Jelly Beans. Pass. Oh, opponent doesn't even attack with that one. That's fine. All right, let's go ahead and scry 2. Sire of 7 Deaths. Let's absolutely go. That is a hell yeah from me, baby. So here comes Sire. But yeah, guys, here it comes. Could also scry with the Mazemind Tome. Nah, we'll save it. We'll save it. Conduit Pylons, so that's another way that you can activate the Planetarium. So yeah, here comes the island. Here comes Planetarium. And then on the opponent's turn, I guess we can tap that one on the opponent's turn. So let's go ahead and activate this one. Scry 2. Yikes, not the best cards. So then the question is, do we keep the Hedron Archive? Or do we risk it? I think we're going to risk it. What do we get off the top? It's a roulette wheel. Is it anything good? All right, it wasn't anything good, but I think we'll be okay. Hey there, neighbor. Welcome to another MTG Arena Standard video. I have a really fun one today. We're looking at the Planetarium of Wan Shi Tong, and the title of today's deck is Ugin's Planetarium, because when we read the text from the Planetarium, 6 mana, we get a legendary artifact, and then every turn we can spend 1 mana, tap this artifact, and then scry 2. And then whenever we scry or surveil, we get to look at the top card of our library, and we can cast that card without paying its mana cost. And you can only do this once per turn. But the text line right there of scrying 2 and then playing the card from the top, you do get to scry or surveil first before you choose which card you play from the top for free. And since the Planetarium is a colorless card, I thought, yeah, what better card to pair it with than with Ugin, Eye of Storms for 7 mana. We get the legendary Planeswalker, and whenever we cast a colorless spell, or whenever we cast Ugin, we get to exile something that the opponent controls, and then for Ugin's +2, gain 3 life, draw a card. His +0, we can add 3 mana, and his -11, we can search our library for every single colorless card, and then play them for free, which can be really, really busted. So yeah, with Planetarium of Wan Shi Tong, of course we hope to hit a few good things off the top. Some other really good creatures that we could potentially hit would be Sire of 7 Deaths. And again, Planetarium says you may cast this spell. So if we do have Ugin and we scry into a Sire of 7 Deaths with the Planetarium, we get to cast it, which triggers Ugin's ability as well, where we get to exile something from the opponent then as well. And yeah, we'd get a free Sire of 7 Deaths. Could also potentially hit the summon Bahamut for 9 mana. Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 say destroy target non-land permanent, and then Chapter 3 says draw 2 cards, and then Chapter 4, I don't think you ever really make it to Chapter 4 because opponents usually just scoop up by then. But yeah, we get a flying 9/9 dragon, which is really, really good. And then we're also playing with the Extinguisher Battleship for 8 mana. When this artifact enters, we get to destroy a non-creature permanent, so we can blow up some lands with that, and then this will deal 4 damage to each creature on the battlefield. So those are, of course, our big payoffs with either Ugin or Planetarium, of course. But then I'm trying 2 other unique creatures. One of them is the Valkyrie aerial unit for 7 mana. We have a blue creature, and when this creature enters, we get to surveil 2, so that pairs really nicely with the Planetarium, the Surveil 2, and this does have affinity for artifacts, so we can reduce its generic mana cost by 1. for each artifact we have on the battlefield. So you could eventually play this guy for as cheap as 2 mana, which is really good because then we have a flying 5/4 creature that lets us surveil 2. And we're also... Sorry, that's the last creature that allows us to scry. The last creature we're playing with is the Steelswarm Operator for 2 mana. This is a 1/1 flying robot soldier, but we can tap him and we can add 1 blue mana to cast artifact spells. And as you guys can see from the deck, Planetarium's an artifact, Extinguisher Battleship is an artifact, the Valkyrie aerial unit is an artifact creature, and we have a lot of other artifacts that we'll get into it in a second. So that's really nice, but then we can also tap this guy and add 2 blue mana, and then we can activate abilities of artifacts we control. So that could be a really nice way for if we play the Planetarium on turn 6, we can still then tap this guy to activate the Planetarium's ability as well. And then I guess the final creature we're playing with is with the UFO. It's just a nice body, 0 power, 4 toughness, so you can block a decent amount of creatures. And then we can also tap him to put a land from our hand onto the battlefield, so it can help us ramp a little teensy tiny bit as well. And then we have a little bit of ramp because, I mean, these spells are really expensive. So Irencrag for 2 mana can tap it to add 1 colorless mana, and then the Ring of Lucii and the Hedron Archive, both of these cost 4 mana, and you can tap both of them to add 2 colorless mana, which is really, really nice. And then we have Mazemind Tome. You can tap it and you can scry 1, so that will trigger the Planetarium. And we also have the Candy Trail for 1 mana. When this artifact enters, we get to scry 2, so that also triggers the Planetarium. And of course, if we have Ugin on the battlefield, then all of these cheap colorless spells will trigger Ugin's ability as well, where we can exile something. And then finally, since we are playing blue and we are going with a little bit more of an expensive deck, we are running 2 Aetherize just to maybe reset the attacking creatures that are coming after our life total. Hopefully keep us alive until the late game, because that's really where we can thrive with our big payoffs as well. And then I guess one other land that we have that can help us surveil as well are the Conduit Pylons. When this land enters, we get to surveil 1. So if we get the Planetarium down, maybe for 6 mana, and we don't have any other way of adding the extra 1 mana to scry 2, then maybe on our next turn, maybe we have a Conduit Pylons, can play this land down, surveil 1, that triggers the Planetarium. Then we can go into the opponent's turn, because you can only do that once per turn, or you can cast something from the top for free. But then when we go into the opponent's turn, if we have 1 mana left over, we can tap this one and scry 2. So that's a way that we can trigger on the opponent's turn as well. So yeah, that's the deck that I'm going with, and I'm really excited to try out this Planetarium. So let's jump into some games, see how the deck does. All right, guys, we got to go first. Oh, this feels disgusting, keeping these 2 really expensive cards in our hand with no real way of ramping. So, but we will try it. We'll try it out. Mazemind Tome can hopefully find us either the Planetarium or maybe our Hedron Archive, for instance. Opponent with some rule action. Or sorry, Gruul's red-green. He's the green-black. Green-black with the Restless Cottage. Might be looking to do some graveyard stuff. That is a possibility. Maybe the opponent's not even here. No, he is. Swamp on turn 2. Into a Bramble Familiar, so I'm starting to think it is the Badgermole Cub. They're just splashing in some black. And then, you know what we'll do? We'll bounce the Conduit Pylons. I don't want to throw a Summoned Bahamut in our graveyard, but maybe we should. Maybe we should. Let's see, next turn we can get both these lands down, so that'll be 2, 4, that's only 5 mana. Yeah, we have to throw the Summoned Bahamut away. There's the Acolyte. Okay. Oh, it's not even throw it away. It's just throw it to the bottom of the library. So yeah, we'll get down the Conduit Pylons. Ooh, there's the Planetarium. I think we can play it next turn, actually. Yeah, we can get this Mazemind Tome down. Yeah, we can get this Mazemind Tome down. We can draw a card. No attacks. End the turn. All right, a lot of things going on. With our UFO, we can tap him, put this Arid Archway on the battlefield, bounce this Conduit Pylons back to our hand. This one adds 2, this one will add 2, plus the island is 5 mana. We can redeploy the Conduit Pylons to have 6 mana to play the Planetarium. And let's start working on this one. We'll put a page counter on it. Draw a card, and then we can scry on our turn, and then we can scry on the opponent's turn as well. So, opponent looking to attack. That's fine. We'll go ahead and say pass. We'll block the Bramble Familiar. And before we forget to do it, we will go ahead and tap you, put down the Arid Archway, bounce the Conduit Pylons, and guys, things are coming up Millhouse. Island on top. Don't need that one. Have 2 lands right here. And take 4 damage. Opponent, I think, gets to draw and lose 1 life. That is a pretty good deal because they gained 4 life that turn. Oh, and it's Ruzik, who is booed but victorious. And yeah, going into our turn, here comes 6 mana available. Yeah, let's see what's on top with this Conduit Pylons. Candy Trail, I think we can do better than that. So here comes the Planetarium of Wan Shi Tong. And then with this one, we'll go ahead and scry Hedron Archive. That one I think is pretty good. So I think we keep that one. And then we can play it for free. Yes, play it for free. Oh, and then on the opponent's turn, we can actually scry too. That will help us dig a little bit deeper, which is really nice. If we didn't have the Hedron Archive, we could just tap this one to scry. Since we have 2 mana available thanks to the Hedron Archive, we can go with the scry too. So hopefully that will find us something maybe a little bit better than the scry 1. Could even be the Extinguisher Battleship. Can wipe the board then, which will be really nice, and blow up his Restless Cottage. Then he won't have any green mana. He does get to create the treasure token though with Ruzik. But yeah, this is turning out to be a pretty good game. Opponent's thinking about it. They do have to discard. This is not a May ability. It just says at the beginning of your upkeep, discard a card. So opponent's thinking about it. 2, 4, 5 cards in hand. The game is still working. And he just drops off a forest. I think with our UFO, we can go ahead and drop down this island again. So then we'll have 6 mana or 7 mana, because then we can play Ugin. Garruk's Uprising. Power 4 or greater, gain Trample. So let's see, take 9 damage this turn. That is quite a bit. He goes with another Garruk's Uprising. That's fine. All right, and I guess we'll let the opponent go to attack steps. Opponent gets to surveil. Pop these jelly beans. Pass. Oh, opponent doesn't even attack with that one. That's fine. All right, let's go ahead and scry 2. Sire of 7 Deaths. Let's absolutely go. That is a hell yeah from me, baby. So here comes Sire. And with the UFO, let's go ahead and put this land on the battlefield. And then we'll go ahead and pass, and we'll take out your Ruzik. Well, I guess I maybe should take out the Acolyte, because then he's not gaining 4 life. And I guess he gets to create the 2/2 colorless token, because something did leave the battlefield. So I should have definitely gotten rid of the Acolyte, because on our turn with Ugin, we can exile something, so then we would have been able to remove Ruzik. So yeah, here comes Ugin. Go ahead and get rid of your Acolyte. And then we have enough mana. We can play the Valkyrie aerial unit for just 2 mana, because we have a ton of artifacts. We get to surveil those 2 away, play something for free. Hedron Archive, I'll take it. Oh, did I say decline? I did not mean to decline that. Obviously, I did not mean to decline that, guys. Because that would count as us casting something, so then Ugin would have been able to exile his Bramble Familiar. So that is unfortunate, but I mean, we are just so much in the driver's seat right now. Big smack for 7 damage, gains 7 life ourselves, and Sire of 7 Death has Vigilance. So again, we'll wait for the opponent to go to attack steps. 2, 4. He has 5 mana to work with if he does choose to tap the Bramble Familiar. Sorry, 6 mana to work with. He could, of course, drop a land, and then he will have 7 mana to work with. So part of me wants to maybe just scry with this Mazemind Tome, play something for free, and who knows what it'll be. Who knows what it'll be. I think the opponent's maybe a little bit salty that we were able to catch him off guard with Sire of 7 Deaths, and then played an Ugin, so... Oh, he goes with the Quilled Great Worm. That is an awesome creature. I'm going to hit him with a Nice. That is a really cool creature. But I don't think you're attacking opponent. For those of you guys that don't know this creature, it says whenever a creature deals combat damage, you put that many +1/+1 counters on that creature. So, yeah, going with Garruk's Uprising, that is really cool. That is honestly really cool from the opponent. Oh, this just costs 1? Let's just go ahead and activate this. I always think this costs 2 to activate. Scry 2, don't need those 2 cards, so what do we get to play from the top for free? Another Ugin. I think we do it, guys. Now we're going to decline. We could do it because that counts as us casting Ugin, so, and that Ugin is a colorless card, so we'd get a double exile, and then we would choose to keep this Ugin, obviously. But yeah, opponent's choosing not to attack, and I mean, yeah, we're just going to plus up on Ugin. There is the Vault, and then we'll cast this Summon Bahamut, and we'll go ahead and exile this Great Worm, and we'll go ahead and blow up this Bramble Familiar. And I mean, next turn, we just have an Ugin Ultimate. So we'll go ahead and attack with these 2. Have we even scried for turn? I'm not sure we have. So let's see. Do we get to play something for free? The Ring of Lucii? I think we do. Play it for free? Yes, please. I keep always clicking on decline. And then we can exile one of his Garruk's Uprising. So yeah, just absolute domination from us. Oh, we actually got the opponent. Oh no, I thought Sire was still attacking, but he has first strike. So, I mean, yeah, opponent, you have 2 really big creatures to deal with. An Ugin who is going to go ahead and hit you with the ultimate right now. Gonna go ahead and hit you with the ultimate right now, unless you have some Planeswalker removal. Bitter Triumph, of course, could get it done, but opponent can't even remove our Sire of 7 Deaths because he has to pay 7 life to target him. So, yeah, this was an insane game. That was a really, really good hit from the Planetarium to find the Sire of 7 Deaths. And I walked you through it that one turn. I chose to block Ruzek. I 100% should have chosen to block the Acolyte, because he was able to gain 4 life off of that, create this token right here, and I think still draw a card. Whereas if I had chosen to block that creature, then none of that would have happened, and he would have just done 5 damage instead of 4, but we were gaining 7 regardless. So, but yeah, there, guys, when you have games like this, and you do get kind of lucky with the Planetarium, yeah, you can absolutely pop off. And yeah, opponent just has way too much stuff to deal with. So, yeah, GG. All right, guys, unfortunately, opponent gets to go first, but I do really like our hand. We have the Planetarium and even a Ring, which we will be able to play on turn 4. The Arid Archway can, of course, tap to add 2 mana, which is really nice. So I think turn 1, I think we'll just go with the Candy Trail. Go ahead and get this one down. Mazemind Tome is nice. I think I will keep the land. Play the land, play Mazemind Tome. Go ahead and play Mazemind Tome. And then go ahead and scry right now. Opponent could be the Aristocrats deck, but don't see any white for Raise the Past. Opponent loses 1 life, they get to endure 1. We'll go ahead and pass. And right before it is our turn, let's go ahead and see what's on top. We'll go ahead and resolve that. UFO is nice. It can actually put a land on the battlefield, and it's just a really nice blocker for the Sinkhole, actually. So we'll go ahead and tap these 2 lands, play out the UFO, and then we'll get down the Arid Archway, and we can return this land back to our hand, and go ahead and just pass the turn. This one does tap to add 2 mana, so 3. This will be 4, so we'll be able to get the ring down. And then on turn 5, can play the Planetarium and go ahead and surveil with it right away. So I can dig it. I can dig it. Mr. Donut over here, really cool username, probably has a kill spell, I would imagine. Let's go ahead and read the sinkhole. You can endure 1, and endure just says put 1 +1/+1 on this creature. So he can only grow it up to 3 power at most. So we're free to block with the UFO. And opponent does have the kill spell, does have to sack a creature to do that, so that's fine. That is fine by me. Opponent should have maybe attacked first. Maybe I would not have chosen to block. But maybe I would have, of course. So I guess this way he does get the most damage through, so maybe opponent did have the correct play line. And it's our turn. Let's go ahead and scry 1. Summon Bahamut is really nice. We will keep that. Maybe eventually might be able to play it out. So yeah, here comes the ring. And then I think we'll go ahead and sack it to gain 3 life and draw a card. And then next turn, let's see, this is 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be 7 mana. So we will be able to play out the Planetarium, scry with the Mazemind Tome to play something for free. And then going into the opponent's turn, we should have 1 mana left over. And go ahead and scry on the opponent's turn to play something else out for free as well. Opponent's picking apart our graveyard a little tiny bit, but that is fine. Opponent punches in for 4 damage. He probably grows this one. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and gain 3 life, so we get to blank the sinkhole right now. So just taking 2 damage, so we're up to 17. But then back down to 12. But yeah, guys, here it comes. Could also scry with the Mazemind Tome. Nah, we'll save it. We'll save it. Conduit Pylons, so that's another way that you can activate the Planetarium. So yeah, here comes the island, here comes Planetarium, and then on the opponent's turn, I guess we can tap that one on the opponent's turn. So let's go ahead and activate this one, scry 2. Yikes, not the best cards. So then the question is, do we keep the Hedron Archive? Or do we risk it? I think we're going to risk it. What do we get off the top? It's a roulette wheel. Is it anything good? All right, it wasn't anything good, but I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. Now the Extinguisher Battleship actually won't be able to take out the sinkhole. So, Phoenix Airship Fleet, and he can sack the clue token. All right, opponent's cooking with a sacrifice deck with the Phoenix Air Fleet ship. That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. All right, we're going to pass the turn. I guess maybe before the opponent goes to attack steps, I was going to say maybe we should do it, but create a clue token. That's fine. Oh, he actually doesn't have 2 mana to sack the clue token, so I don't think anything is getting sacked right now. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 damage is quite a bit. We'll be able to gain 4 life with the Mazemind Tome, and let's see what we get off the top. Let's hope it's something good. Yikes, Hedron Archive is really not what we want. So we're down to 4. Conduit Pylons will allow us to surveil 1. Is there anything good? Sire of 7 Deaths, that is a really nice card to be able to play for free. And then we do have enough for Summon Bahamut. That will cost all of our mana, but that's fine. Yes, we blow up the sinkhole. Or do we get rid of the Phoenix Airship Fleet? I think we get rid of the Phoenix Airship Fleet. And then on the opponent's turn, we can go ahead and scry with the Mazemind Tome and gain 4 life. And we just have to hope we find something good. Opponent could have 2 kill spells. Yeah, he does have Deadly Precision. That's fine. Do you have another kill spell? If not, then there's no way you attack through. If you do, opponent would have to take 7 life in order to target our Sire of 7 deaths. Ooh, each opponent loses 1 life. Okay, we'll go ahead and pass. He is hovering over our creature. No, okay, no kill spell. So we are good to gain 4 life with Mazemind Tome. Sack, sack. Oh, no, wait, what does this say? Or is it this one? I thought we lost 1 life. Where did we lose 1 life from? Create a clue token. Whenever you draw your 2nd card each turn, each opponent loses 1 life. Okay, so I thought it was maybe some way with sacrifice, and then with the Umbercaller Zealot, I think he could sack. Well, this one does also say sack another creature. Yeah, I think he could maybe sack those 3 to drain us out, but that's not how this creature works. It is only when you draw your 2nd card. So yeah, opponent's not attacking because we're past attack steps. We would also be able to gain 4 life right now because we would play the Mazemind Tome, gain 4 life, and who knows, maybe we hit an Ugin off the top, maybe even another summon Bahamut. But yeah, we got there, so we'd gain 4 life right there, get to play something with the Planetarium for free, and then going into our turn, we could play the Conduit Pylons to surveil, so again, get to play something for free. And then I think we have 7 mana, so we could play another Sire of 7 deaths, and we could attack with this one to gain another 7 life right there. So let's absolutely go. Really good game. GG. All right, guys, we got to go first. I don't know if I should keep this hand because we have no plays until turn 4. We don't even have 4 lands. We do scry into 1, so I'll keep it. And we are up against mono white life gain. This honestly might be really, really scary. If he plays an Ajani this turn right now, another Hedron Archive, I definitely don't need that. Okay, no Ajani. An opponent kept a 1-lander. That is kind of crazy. Okay, 4 Hedron Archives in the top 10. You love to see that. Next turn, we can play Hedron Archive. All right, opponent kept a 1-lander and hasn't drawn a land. I think we're getting kind of lucky that the opponent kept a really greedy hand. But of course, I mean, I guarantee you guys will have 4 mana next turn. We'll play the Hedron Archive, and opponent will just have a land into a Sheltered by Ghosts. I already know it. I feel it in my fingers. 2, 4, 6. We'll even have 7 mana next turn, so we can play the Planetarium, and then we can scry 2 with it right away. And there's the Ajani. So, oh. Yeah, this creature's just going to grow so much right now. Take 3 damage. We're down to 14. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, we will have 7 mana. I think it kind of has to be Ugin or bust. I guess the Extinguisher Battleship would be pretty nice as well. Okay, Extinguisher Battleship is nice. That does get to at least blow up all his creatures. So I will play that. And we do get to take him off a land, and we know he's hurting for lands, but I mean, a Johnny being at 5 is pretty brutal for us. But this Valkyrie aerial unit, Essence Channel, that's not a way to gain life. So we can actually surveil 1 with the Conduit Pylons. Oh, and scry into a summon Bahamut. Yes, thank you very much. Get this trash out of my face right now. Bop, get him out of here. And then we have enough for the Valkyrie aerial unit. And then it is going into the opponent's turn. I'll keep an Aetherize. You never know what will happen. We can actually play... We'll play the Candy Trail. Oh, I should have maybe kept that to scry on the opponent's turn. That's my bad. Sorry, scry back on our turn, because we will be able to scry on the opponent's turn. And you know what? I'm actually just going to station this guy right away. Attack in for 10. Bap, big 10 damage down to 16. And then on the opponent's turn, let's see what you want to do. You do hit the land drop. It is Banishing Light. What are you taking from us? Probably summon Bahamut. But before you do that, let's go ahead and scry 2. No Ugin, that is unfortunate. Honestly, we don't need the ring either. We have so much mana. So what free card are we getting from the top? The Valkyrie aerial unit, I'll take it. Surveil 2. Don't need these 2. Definitely don't need those 2. So opponent, you have 20 damage coming back at you. and no way of gaining life because you're all tapped out. So yeah, big fat GG. Let's go. All right, guys, we get to go first. I can dig it. I think we'll go ahead and scry with the Conduit Pylons. Arid Archway actually is a really nice land, so I think we'll go ahead and play out the Operator on turn 2. And then on turn 3, we're able to play Hedron Archive. Yeah. He doesn't remove our Steelswarm Operator. Oh, opponent is playing with the Planetarium as well. Let's absolutely go. So it's Planetarium on Planetarium violence. Opponent's on some Orzhov colors. So let's see who can do it a little bit better. So we'll definitely get down Conduit Pylons. Yeah, we'll get down Conduit Pylons. An island we definitely don't need, and then we get down the Hedron Archive. And then we get down Mazemind Tome. And then we can go ahead and start scrying with this one. Opponent, oh, he does keep it on top, and he did get rid of one of them, so I'm pretty sure he has one of them in his hand. Pretty sure the opponent has one of them in his hand, so let's go ahead and see what's on top. Ooh, an Ugin. Do we have 7 mana? 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we only have 5 mana. Oh, I still think we keep Ugin. He is just such a good creature. So then we can get down the Arid Archway. So let's tap this one and this one. We'll go ahead and draw a card with Mazemind Tome. Oh, there's the Planetarium. Don't have enough mana to play it just yet, but we'll get this Arid Archway down, and we'll bounce this one back to our hand. Another Ugin on top. I think we keep that. I don't think we say no to Ugin right now, and then we actually have enough mana to get down the Valkyrie aerial unit, so we'll do that, because then we can start putting some pressure on the opponent. And these are both really good cards, so I'll keep them. And then I guess the question is, let's see, 2, 4... opponent has Get Lost. That's annoying. But hey, at least that's not coming after our Ugin right now. So we draw Ugin. I think we just go ahead and play Ugin right now. And just make him have the answer. 2, 4, 5, 6. This one can tap to add mana, but unfortunately... You know what? Let's go with this Planetarium. And then on our turn... Oh, opponent scooped it up? No! That is so unfortunate. Yeah, I was just thinking about our playline. We could have played the Conduit Pylons, had 7 mana, go Ugin, and exile this one. There is a chance that he has his own Get Lost, but we could start ticking up Ugin. But, I mean, we're here to see the Planetarium. We can scry with the Mazemind Tome. And, I mean, we know what's on top. I think we would keep it. I think we'd play it for free. And then remember that the Steelswarm Operator, we can tap him to activate this one. So then we could activate the Planetarium on the opponent's turn to get a nice Scry 2. And hopefully, I mean, we're probably not playing Ugin because I think we only played 3 of them. We have 2 of them right there. But, I mean, yeah, I think the extra ramp helped us out a lot. So, yeah, GG. All right, guys, we get to go first. No blue mana for the Steelswarm Operator, but I mean, a lot of really early game plays, which I can definitely get behind. Candy Trail, get some nice scry action, and there's the blue mana actually, and I don't think I'm going to say no to an Aetherize, so we ride. We ride with this. Do what the opponent wants to do. Orzhov colors could definitely be the Aristocrats deck, but I mean, it can be so many things. No turn 1 play actually, so maybe not the Aristocrats deck. Tolls of War, so they're looking to be a sacrifice deck. They could honestly be playing with the Airship Fleet. Really cool card right there. Yeah, we can go with the Conduit Pylons. Valkyrie aerial unit. We don't have to double blue for it. Wait, but this one, it can tap to add blue. So we're going to keep that one for sure. And then we can actually get both of these Mazemind Tome down right now, thanks to the Steelswarm Operator. So that's really nice. And then now this Valkyrie aerial unit reduced by 1 mana, 7 mana, reduced by 4. So he's only going to cost 3, which is really, really nice. And opponent goes with the Snarling Gorehound, so maybe it is the Aristocrats deck. Yeah, it is, with Bartolome. They just took a little while to get there. They took a little while to get there, but that's fine. I think we'll go ahead and play the Valkyrie aerial unit for just 3 mana. Get a nice 5/4 with flying, and we get to surveil too. Ooh, Ugin is really good. We honestly don't really have the mana to play him, because this guy only adds mana for artifacts. We only have 3 mana right now. So honestly, guys, as much as this sucks, I think we have to maybe look for some better payoffs right now. Get the Conduit Pylons down. Get some more surveil action. And another Ugin. I mean, I don't want to throw away another one because we do only have 3 of them in our deck. So I think what we'll do, we'll go ahead and draw with the Mazemind Tome on the opponent's turn, and we'll scry with this one. Opponent does have a kill spell. That is unfortunate. But, I mean, to be expected in the colors of black. Honestly, white as well. They have a few kill spells. Get Lost, for instance. Really, really good removal spell in the colors of white. But yeah, I think Aetherize can maybe catch the opponent off guard with a pretty juicy Aetherize. That will have to be later on, though. The Sandbenders. It says whenever you sack something. So yeah, the only thing I'm really worried about is, of course, Erase the Past. But they don't have any creatures in the graveyard right now. So, of course, the Snarling Gorehound could change that. And opponent is really thinking about this one. Opponent is really thinking about this one. And he chose to keep it on top. And opponent is going to attack step, so we take 3 damage down to 17. That's fine. Oh, Bartolome can just sack anything at any time. That's crazy. That is kind of crazy. All right, yeah, I think we're going to have to hit him with the Aetherize this turn coming up. And we for sure will draw a card. So we know we're drawing Ugin. And again, we only have 4 mana available. So with this one, we'll go ahead and scry. Planetarium is really nice. So I think we draw into that. Yeah, I think we draw into that. And then we hit the opponent with an Aetherize. And then we hope to scry into a land, potentially. That will be our play line. Let's see what the opponent wants to do. Plays a land. Ooh, if he taps out to put a counter on each of his creatures, I would love that. I'm gonna like hover over it, like I'm reading it. What does this Abandoned Air Temple say? I know what it says. You can put a counter on all your creatures. All right, we'll pass there. No, wait, let's say we're going to block this one. We can still cast Aetherize it, right? Yeah, okay. So we'll just cast Aetherize right now. Bounce all those back to the opponent's hand. And of course, he can just redeploy all of them, which is unfortunate. But at least we are setting him back a little tiny bit. And yeah, I was really hoping he would tap out. I was really hoping he would tap out. But he doesn't. Snarling Gorehound triggers. He's going to get a lot of triggers off that. This one's 2 mana. This one's also 2 mana. So he can literally redeploy everything. So it's not the best Aetherize. Two, four, five. All right, so those all get bounced, and then we know you're redeploying them. So let's get it done, opponent. Oh, he just goes with the Phoenix airship fleet. Okay. That I'm actually really happy with. I think he does get to trigger it right away, though, because something did die. So yeah, you do get to create a copy of it. But then we will actually tap this one, and we'll go ahead and draw a card. And I think we're looking for a land is what it was. There's a land. And then it's going into our turn. Yeah, okay. I guess we can... Oh, why did the opponents scoop up, man? Opponents are giving up way too easily today. Opponent has such a good board presence. We just have a 1-1. All right, guys, here is what our play line was going to be. We have 2, 4. This one can tap to add 1 mana. So 5 right there with this guy. 6 mana. Play the Planetarium. And then we'd have both of these untapped. We could go ahead and scry on our turn with Mazemind Tome. And again, it's just roulette. We need to hope that we hit something good off of it. Hopefully we do. Could play that for free. And then going into the opponent's turn with this other Mazemind Tome that would be untapped, could go ahead and scry again. So then we could play something else from the top with that one. So yeah, I think we were starting to turn the tables, but I really don't know why this opponent scooped it up. That's a little bit unfortunate. They're playing with a pretty unique deck as well, the Sacrifice deck. I'm also looking to make a Phoenix Airship Fleet deck as well. But yeah, that one's unfortunate. I think it was shaping up to be a really good game, and unfortunately it was cut short. But I mean, hey, a win is a win, so GG. Hey there, neighbor, and welcome to the post-game wrap. Today we looked at the Planetarium of Wan Shi Tong, and I really like this card, but I will be the first one to say, definitely don't craft this deck, guys. It is more on the janky side, and I mean, you guys can just see from everything here, it all costs 7 mana. I think if we go and look at the deck, yeah, the average mana cost is 4.7 with just how insanely aggressive standard is right now, whether that be with the Lesson deck with Gran, the Badgermole Cub is honestly really crazy right now. Mono White Life Gain actually does pretty decent against this, because all those cards that just play a ton of creatures, or, you know, they're able to just do a lot of damage to you before you can really find your Planetarium. Sometimes it's a little bit too much to overcome. And then even when you do find the Planetarium, sometimes you just don't have enough to get any scry going on the turn it comes down, because you do need the 1 extra mana just to be able to scry with it right away. And let's say you do have that. Sometimes you scry with it and you find not really anything good. Maybe you find the Irencrag, or you find the Ring of Lucii, or the Hedron Archive. I found a land with it a few times as well, even with scrying 2. It was in one game we lost. It was a total blowout. 2 lands on top, scryed both those away, and then the card that we got for free was just an Arid Archway, and then you can't even play it for free. At least on our turn, you can't play it for free. So it is a little bit of a roulette wheel, but I mean, that does make it a lot of fun sometimes. I don't condone gambling, definitely don't go gambling, but with this deck, you do gamble a little tiny bit, and definitely in some of the games, we saw how good it can be. I think in one of them, we were able to get a Sire of 7 deaths while the opponent was attacking into us. We went ahead, I forgot how we scryed. I think it was with the Planetarium, just costing 1 mana. Got the Sire of 7 deaths down, and then we could choose to block one of his attacking creatures, and then, I mean, we gain 7 life from that, take his creature out as well. So you can have really, really nice pulls with it, but more often than not, you don't have the best pulls with it. But overall, really, really fun deck. It is fun when it works out, and we have quite a few ways of ramping. I mean, the Steelswarm Operator adds 1 mana for the Planetarium. Hedron Archive and the Ring adding 2 mana helps you ramp quite a bit. Same with the Irencrag, even though Irencrag and the Ring, those are just both 1-of, so the chance that you find them, you know, frequently doesn't happen very frequently. UFO is also just a 1-of in our deck, but that one can also help you ramp a little bit as well. So maybe if you want to make the deck a little bit more consistent, honestly, maybe go up another copy of the Ring, just because I think adding the 2 colorless mana does help quite a bit to play out some of these creatures later on as well. So yeah, that was the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed the Planetarium of Wan Shi Tong. It's, of course, a legendary place in the series of Avatar. It's a really, really good episode. But yeah, if you made it this far into the video, please consider subscribing. It does help me out tremendously. And I'm just going to end it like I always end it. I love you guys. Peace out.